Hey, welcome back. Today I've got 3 tips for beginner javelin throwers. All right, what are those 3 tips that we're talking about today? Number 1, we need to learn how to throw the javelin straight. Number 2, we need to learn how to keep our arm up. And number 3, and probably the most important, we need to understand how to do a 3-step throw. All right, so why do we care about throwing the javelin straight as like the first thing we should do as a brand new javelin thrower? Well, because the javelin flies the farthest when it's traveling through a straight line. If you were to give 50% effort on a throw and one went sideways and one went straight, the one that will go straight is going to go the farthest. So we need to first figure out how to do that. But what I like to do is I like to simplify the range of motion a little bit. Just have a short throw, almost like we're throwing darts. So the javelin's going to sit up. We're just going to put the javelin, the hand slightly up by the head, and all we're going to do is we're going to take a step and we're going to try and throw the javelin in a straight line. All right, once we've accomplished a very short range throw, we're going to start increasing that range of motion. So instead of starting off here, I'm going to draw the javelin back a little bit farther, not completely back, but far enough where I can still control the flight of the javelin. And again, I'm just going to step and throw and produce something that feels comfortable, but also goes in a straight line. Next phase, we're going to just add a bigger and bigger range of motion. So instead of starting off here, we're going to go back and farther, and we're going to keep that javelin up nice and tall, and again, stepping and throwing in a straight line. I just want to give you a couple examples of common mistakes that I see. A twisted javelin looks like this. Another common mistake is just putting the nose up too high and pulling down on the tail. All right, so if you want a little bit more information about throwing the javelin straight, you can check out the link in the description to another video about me controlling the javelin. The next tip for a beginner is throwing with a hand up higher. And I see this all the time. Javelin throwers that are brand new to throwing have a tendency to drop the javelin down and they throw around their body from this direction. What we're looking for is the javelin that's going to come up over the top of the body, not around the body. So as we set up, we try and start off with a high hand from here, like I'm going to give that javelin a high five reaching way up, and then I'm going to drop the javelin back over the top this way, and then as I throw, I'm just going to try and go right over the top into my throw. Some of the concerns I have about javelin throwers not throwing over the top is they start developing this last minute adjustment in their throw. So as they're actually moving down the runway, they're trying to set up their throw. What we want to do is we want to try and get the javelin up in a stable position so that it's easy for the body to pull the javelin through versus having to maneuver the javelin so much during the throwing process. All right, last thing, we need to be thinking about a 3-step throw. A 3-step throw doesn't actually require a javelin, although we will add one here in a little bit. The idea of a 3-step throw is going to be a rhythmic throw. We're going to jump off the left foot, land on the right foot into our standing throw position. So I'm jumping here to here. Now I'm in my standing throw position. I can take a step and produce my throw. All right, so why is this 3-step so important? Well, because we've got our runway here and we're going to use it. You want to generate speed down the runway, and the faster you move, the harder it is to be in a ready position to throw. So the last 3 steps, also known as the impulse step, or I call it the crossover, this sets you up for your throw. So without your crossover, it's much more difficult to set up after accumulating speed down the runway. All right, so how do we actually accomplish this little 3-step? I like to start off with a little bit of rhythm. We're going to do heel clicks just to get the rhythm. This is pretty simple for most folks. We're just going to go rocking back, and we're going to go heel click, up, heel click, up, heel click, up. The idea is we're trying to get a little bit of that rhythm, that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Second round, we're just going to turn our feet So instead of bringing our heels together and our feet this direction, we're going to put them a little bit more forward. This time, we're going to keep our right foot on the right side. That way, as we move, we're not getting our feet tangled up. So we're just going to find that rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And as you move through this, you get more and more comfortable. It may take a few rounds, but then we're going to break it down into a single. So we're going to rock back. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Rock back. We go 1, 2, 3, rock back. We go 1, 2, 3. And if you can do that often enough, you start finding the rhythm for it. Once you've established the rhythm, now it's all about body posture. Again, we're trying to reach our standing throw position, which requires us to be leaning slightly back into this position. So as we do this, we're going to try and get into our standing throw position, set ourselves up. I'm going to cross into my standing throw position and produce my throw. All right, some common mistakes in this little 3-step, this impulse step or crossover. In the States here, we have baseball, and so I get a lot of javelin throwers that are coming from baseball, and one of the things they do is they'll throw and they will either put their feet together this way, or they will turn their feet back this way and then try and produce their throw. And what happens is your feet get tied up if you're adding any additional steps, or you come to almost a complete stop in order to produce that movement. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so each time I post a new video, you will get notified. And until I see you next time, have fun and throw far.